What's up, Internet? Let's talk about conditional sentences and linguistic variation. So, today's topic has to do with what we in the ESL world call the conditional structures, or conditional sentences, conditional patterns, whatever you want to call them. Sentences like the following. What I personally call the zero conditional, like if you get shot in the face, you die. You might have noticed that very often the if is completely dropped. People can say, you get shot in the face, you die. You can also say, if I get rich, I will buy a car. That's called the first conditional in the ESL teaching world. Second conditional would be even more hypothetical. If I were rich, I would buy a car, or like I say colloquially, and many others do too, if I was rich, I would buy a car. Even though the canonical form is still the one with were, for better or for worse. And then what we call the third conditional, which is used for hypothetical situations in the past, which is, for example, if I had known, I wouldn't have called you. So now there's a non-native speaker mistake that I've spotted, which is when you have a sentence in the quote-unquote second conditional, like if I was rich, instead of if I was rich or if I were rich, I would buy a car, they will say, if I would be rich, I would buy a car. I've noticed this, for example, on a Dutch speaker who otherwise had pretty good English. I'll post a link in the description to the speech by this guy, who, despite his accent, his English is very good. And driving in Buenos Aires, isn't that just great? Sometimes I'm glad I don't drive. At least I'm glad I don't drive in Buenos Aires. So there's this one non-native speaker mistake. And then there's another one which, according to my sister, and I've actually seen this in action, and I surprised myself a couple days ago by doing it myself, which is on a third conditional, like if I had known, I would have called you. Instead of if I had known, I would have called you, some people will say, if I would have known, I would have called you. And I've noticed this from native speakers, and I'm pretty sure that non-native speakers do it too. But I've still to see it in action, I think. So what I want to know is, what do you see around your little neck of the woods? You very probably see people say, if I was rich, instead of if I were rich. I've noticed that, and this is my case, people who say if I was rich, like me, some of them say if I were you, because that's like a fixed expression, if I were you, even though I say if I was rich, if I was taller, if I was smarter, and so on. And but apart from that, I would like to know if you have heard natives or non-natives, and please do specify, doing the if I would be rich, I would buy a car, and also if I would have known, I would have called you. Until next time, I look forward to your comments.